Dude, he's so triggered, dude. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is like semantics, it's language policing. He's picking apart some of the most innocuous, insignificant parts of this to be like, dude, it's so crazy. Okay, here it is. President Biden condemns his political opponents as threats to the soul of this nation.
Honest to God, never thought I would see something like this from Joe Biden, from really any American president. Last night, the president of the United States gave the most demagogic, dangerous speech I've ever
Dude, that's hilarious. Shapiro reacts to Biden. Wait, this is two different Shapiro clips.
heard from an American president, truly. And a lot of people out there right now on the left side of the aisle screaming about Donald Trump and his January 6th speech. I really hated Donald Trump's January 6th speech. But what Donald Trump did not do in that speech is declare that half the country was the enemy. He did not declare that half the country was fundamentally opposed.
That's really interesting that Ben says this because neither did Biden, which he should. Like, I think he should. Because they are. And also, not only is half the country, and not even half the country, but like, you know, all Republicans are kind of an enemy to the prosperity of America. Let's be real. It's true. It's just true. Ben Shapiro, greatest enemy of all time. I mean, look, if you are an accelerationist, okay, if you want America to crumble, then vote Republican because they will ensure that it happens, okay? They will starve out the masses to a degree where, you know, there is no solution other than some kind of accelerated and potentially violent, not revolution, but, you know, like some kind of fascism that will inevitably crumble this empire, okay? So the idea that like Republicans and conservative attitudes, conservative ideas are not inherently dangerous to the future of this nation is a silly one. It is true. It's so silly. It's silly to discuss. Brandon, on the other hand, was too big of a pussy to actually say it as it is. So he just did the classic, he did the classic like, oh, well, not all Republicans, Jack. Some Republicans, a small percentage of Republicans are MAGA Republicans, right? Like he said that, but it doesn't matter because mods, we should ban the Channel 5 keyword because we will inevitably get to it. We will, of course, inevitably watch it, but it's going to be really fucking annoying and impossible to deal with if, you know, I'm live as this is happening. We will get to it. I've been very excited to watch the O Block Channel 5. We're going to get to it, of course. You know, calm down.
To the basis of the country. He attacked, I thought wrongly, the quote-unquote political elite who had skewed the election or whatever. But what he didn't do was label half the country, people who were just political opponents, his actual enemies. He didn't actually do that on January 6th. And when he talked about the press.
Yeah, no, totally, dude. Yeah, Donald Trump's January 6th speech was better than fucking... Yeah. He's like, I hated it, but it wasn't as bad. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Republicans will claim that every Democrat is a pedophile vampire. And then pedophile vampire groomer. And then turn around and collectively lose their shit. Funny how Republicans are so offended at being called semi-fascist. You see this Mehdi Hasan compilation of them doing the same. Bro, they're calling him a fascist while they're offended at the semi-fascist designation. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, there has never been a time in the history of the Republican machine where the Republican Party hasn't been like, dude, Democrats want to kill your fucking children. They want to kill white people. They want to do white genocide. They're all pedophile vampires. Like, there's never been a time when they haven't said that, okay? It's just pure hypocrisy. And they're also little babies, so just enjoy it.
Press as the enemies of the people in all of this. The press went nuts. And I said he shouldn't have done that. But that was a talk about the press. That wasn't everybody who opposes my agenda deserves the back of the American hand. The president and all of this in the name of democracy. And
I love when Ben Shapiro's like, I didn't like what Trump had to say on January 6th, which was a literal fucking insurrection, a failed one, but still, okay. backed and guided and motivated by Donald Trump. That was that wasn't a great moment for Trump. But also, you know what's bad? When Biden said that guy and those actions are an inherent threat to American democracy. That is unacceptable. That's real fascism. What the fuck, dude? What do you mean? I mean, I don't like the fucking guy. I think Biden is a feckless conservative Democrat who has been really, really awful. Okay? Historically speaking, his tenure in the Senate has been god awful to this fucking country. He is the architect of not only the crime control bill, which was devastating for so many marginalized communities, but he has had so many anti-drug, the war on drugs policies that he passed with actual literal white supremacists were horrifying. We are still reeling from the aftershock of said reactionary legislation. Okay? I hate him. But you're fucking ridiculous if you turn around and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that the Republicans are bad. He is saying half of the country is so bad. This is so divisive. This is so divisive. Suck my cock. Okay? There's never been a moment where you haven't been divisive. Calling that out adequately is actually appropriate. Okay? It's the one time when he's actually being correct. And I think that Democrats, liberals in the media need to stop being fucking libtards, okay? Just stop. Stop. Stop being a fucking pathetic, sniveling coward. Just have some fucking backbone and decency. You cry about Trump being fascist for 4 fucking years, and then when Biden says, well, some of these MAGA Republicans are out of control, you don't even have the fucking decency to back that shit up. And you have to immediately hit the both sides are bad argument. Ben Shapiro should never have the right to get upset at someone for their inflammatory rhetoric. Okay? Biden hit them with a fucking 3 out of 10 when he said some of these MAGA Republicans are a threat to American democracy. No, motherfucker. The Republican Party is a terror cell. Okay? Perhaps the most prolific terror cell. The Democrats are too. Don't get me wrong. They're just not as good as the Republicans are. Democrats are a terror to the rest of the fucking planet with American imperialism. Republicans are a threat to the rest of the planet with American imperialism, which is a bipartisan thing, but also to America as well. It's wild that we can't even, you can't even say that? Like, what the fuck do you mean? Don't get fucking cry bullied by these babies, dude. They don't give a shit. Stop. I just don't understand. Like, this is not a bad take. What Joe Biden did was not bad. Okay? Balls and strikes, baby. I call it out. Joe Biden, when his campaign goes out or when his administration goes out and says, hey, we actually got Mexico to pay for the wall. We're doing a $1.5 billion infusion, cash infusion from Mexico to build smart border, to build a smart border, okay? So we can like fucking use satellite imagery to immediately send in the Gestapo when they see like a fucking 75-year-old abuela crossing the fucking border, right? That shit sucks. That sucks. When you don't close the immigration detention centers, okay, but you call them overflow facilities, that fucking sucks. When you use Title 42 to stop people from asking, from seeking asylum, which is legally in their right to do, that shit sucks. And some of those policies have changed now, by the way. So, admittedly, Brandon, not so bad on that front. Not as bad. Okay? When Biden goes to Philadelphia and talks about how we must suck off every hero cop because crime is out of control, Jack. That shit sucks, okay? But this is not one of those things that sucks. Openly saying that the Republican Party is out of control and constituting a legitimate threat to America is not the wrong thing to say. And if you want to be critical of Brandon in that situation, you should be critical of the reality that he didn't go far enough. He didn't. He should be going way harder on these motherfuckers.
Quality, it was insane. I want to begin with the image of the speech. This is going to be the takeaway image. Most people are not going to see the speech. Most people are not going to listen to the speech. There's going to be one takeaway image from the speech.
Unfollowed.
Presidential politics is all about image. It's all about imagistics. Whether you're talking about President Trump getting out of a helicopter and taking off his mask in the middle of COVID, or whether you are talking about Barack Obama standing on a giant stage flanked by the Greek Parthenon recreated in 2008. When you look at this image, the image that you're seeing right now of Joe Biden, this is the single.
It's aesthetics. You're crying about aesthetics. You're a lib. You're a lib. It's over. You're a lib. Everyone is a liberal. Everyone's a fucking liberal, dude. Look at that. Oh, look at the aesthetics of this. This is so damaging. This is so scary. It is a real picture. Yes. It is. And what's funnier about this is that, like, yeah, aesthetically speaking, it does look fucking wild. It looks like a fucking Red Alert cutscene, right? It looks like a Command and Conquer cutscene. And I made this joke immediately last night when I saw it. But who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. It wasn't Trump's aesthetics that were offensive to me. It was his actions, okay? It was his policies. It's just so stupid. It's also red and blue, right? Isn't it? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? Like, you love Trump's aesthetics. You compliment his bussy all the time. Yeah, I mean, I did. I did like Trump's bussy. I mean, he had a fat one. He had a dumper. Balls and strikes, folks. I call him out. I call him as I see him, okay? Trump was sassy. Trump was funny, okay? He was a little charismatic. He had like a lot of... He was like the perfect fail son. You know what I mean? Perfect, rotund, wet fail son with a fat dumper. And he was a media demon. He was a media-obsessed narcissist. It was funny as fuck. He was constantly making, you know, great tweets. He was posting well. Hey, play Valorant. I just got off the phone with POTUS. Joe said to bring back Split and to remove Fracture right now. His words. I don't even know what this is. But, oh, Fracture, is that the one I hate? Anyway, fuck it. We're not doing Valorant stuff. Okay. Yes, the 1,000-year-old president will make the South rise again, backed by Karl Marx and Mao and his army of libs law. Yeah. Oh, they're maps. Okay. Hyper-focusing on the aesthetics of a particular thing and having no consideration whatsoever, okay, for the legitimate actions or even the words that he's using and what the message he's trying to deliver is lib shit, okay? If you're focusing on this kind of shit and you are hyperventilating over like, oh my God, it looks so scary, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. You're bitch made. You're bitch made.
Worst piece of presidential image making I have ever seen in my entire life. It is not close. This is an astonishingly bad image for the president of the United States, especially when he's declaring, I'm here in defense of democracy, and now I'm going to yell at you about how everyone who opposes me is an enemy of democracy. Let's count the ways in which this is a horrible piece of, I mean, first of all, let's compare it to some other images, just so you see how bad a piece of imagery this is. It's insane. Okay, how about General Lux from Star Trek, from Star Wars The Force Awakens? It's the same image. We're talking about the blood red background. We're talking about the dark outfit, the blood red background, and the people in the background or apparatchiks of the state. Okay, you are talking here about...
Dude, this is literally like the most soy, the most bugmen you could be, by the way. There is no more soy a moment than doing this, okay? This is just like my movies. This is just like my favorite movies. Oh my God. Hyperventilating over the RGB used behind in an otherwise offensive. Everyone in American political media. There you go. What is this? Oh, we're talking divisive backgrounds. That's a great tweet from Nina Turner. Yeah. That's, you don't understand, Nina. That's heritage, not hate. That's heritage, not hate. I mean, this is hyperventilating soy shit. Like, this is bat chesting, okay? I cannot think of a more soy moment than hyperventilating over the RGB used behind Biden in an otherwise inoffensive speech. Everyone in American political media is an MCU-loving, Funko Pop collecting liberal at the end of the day, okay? You are what you hate. You are. You can't stop yourself, dude. You just can't. You are the same soy, okay? You are the same, like, soy! Oh! Did I say then instead of than? Wait, I can't even edit my fucking tweets yet. Can I? Or I have to pay for it, right? Whatever, shut up. It doesn't matter. Soy! This is just like my movies. That's what he's doing. Straight fucking feelings over facts, guy. Straight up.
Man in the High Castle, when John Smith is first introduced in the Vauxhall in New York.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, it's this sort of imagery. The people who constructed this image, that was not Photoshop, that picture of Joe Biden.
Bro, you know what this is? You know what this is? This is literally the same as, like, liberals coming into my fucking stream and being like, did you see the rune shape? Did you see the rune shape that the CPAC convention hall had? That must be deliberate. I'm like, dude, do you fucking hear? Do you literally hear what they're saying? They're saying Nazi shit already. Okay? You don't need to, like, look at the fucking rune shape of the stage to be like, I wonder if these guys saying the 14 words are actually Nazis. I can't tell because there's a Nordic rune shape on the stage. Yeah. It's the same exact shit, bro. Here. I'm going to put that on the tweet as well. Thank you.
Say not Photoshopped him. I mean, Scar from Lion King. It's insane. What are they doing? What are they doing? The answer, by the way, that means V for Vendetta. It is all the dictators that you have ever seen in film or on screen basically rolled into one and then wrapped into an image. What is his team doing? What is his team doing? Well, I think the answer is they're a very online team. The people who work for him, they spend all day on Twitter. And so over the past few weeks, there's been this idea that Dark Brandon is rising. Dark Brandon, of course, is that meme that originally started in China of Joe Biden.
In China! Uh-huh. Yeah, doesn't that, you're owned. You're saying that, like, literally the Chinese government is afraid of Brandon, that they're saying he's, like, vicious. Did you see Joe Biden walking off the podium? Stop sending me Star Wars shit, please.
Sitting on a throne made of guns with his lit up eyes, backlit by flames. You know, he's evil. I think that his team was like, you know what? That was such a cool image, man. It went viral online. Let's just recreate that in real life. And so you end up with this. You end up with the actual picture of Joe Biden. Let's go back to the original. You end up with the actual picture of Joe Biden in this picture. Now, let me describe for people who are just listening what is in this picture. Joe Biden is standing at the podium. This is an upshot. I believe this is from Getty Images. He is screaming at the top of his lungs. He's gripping his fists up in the air. Behind him is Independence Hall, the site of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. Blood red. Blood red. And behind him are two American Marines who are in shadow, except for their white-gloved hands. And behind him, there's a pale light that looks like, because of the way this is lit, it looks like the throne room of the Emperor from Return of the Jedi. It's the worst piece of presidential image making ever. Truly ever. I mean, imagine the sort of thought that had to go into this. And they're sitting around a room, they're like, what can we do to make the president really look cool? Well, what if we take a historic American site? You know, the site that it really is known for liberty and for democracy and legality. And what if we light it blood red? Blood red. And we put the president in front of the blood red.
Oh my God, he's so fucking triggered, dude. Just call it out. Never address the aesthetics of the Brandon thing. Be like, it looks cool, shut the fuck up, you're a dumb bitch. And call out how these guys are hyperventilating over this. Dude, he's like quaking in his fucking boots. What do you think he's going to do, man? He's 900 years old. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to kill you? Is that what you think? This 900-year-old guy is going to come after you, dude?
site. So it'll be red and black, like the fascist color pattern. Let's do that. And then what if we...
Red and black. Dude, okay, first of all, red and black, not the fascist color pattern. Red and black would be, you know, they're not, why is he not doing the red is for communism shit? That would be way cooler if he did that, I think. Because it is. Red is communism.
Actually frontlight him so he looks angry and demonic against that backdrop. And then what if we put a couple of Marines behind him to look like military force is what is backing him? This is a taxpayer-sponsored event, by the way. You paid for this. So Joe Biden gave a speech, and the speech was designed to attack all of his political opponents and treat them as enemies of the state. That's what this...
Bro, Trump literally campaigned as the president. Like, he did campaign stops regularly, okay? You cannot say this. That is crazy, okay? He set the stage. What the fuck are you talking about? That's insanity to me, okay? And to be honest, like, I think Biden is too big of a fucking pussy to do that anyway. Like, Biden is too big of a pussy to actually do, you know, good campaigning like Trump did for the Republican Party.
This speech was designed to do. I think in a very cynical way, because Joe Biden basically gave you two messages. One, everyone who opposes me is an enemy of the state. And two, violence is wrong. The basic idea here is to raise the temperature. I think this is more likely to result in acts of violence that Joe Biden is then going to use as a case to run in 2022 and 2024. I mean, this is extraordinarily dark stuff. Okay, we haven't even gotten to the content of the speech. Just the imagery alone is extraordinary. Really dark, really creepy, really fascistic. And man, did he, I mean, there's a reason that satanic, demonic, and pure evil were all trending on Twitter last night because,
oh my God,
man, oh man.
It was trending on Twitter. People were saying he's demonic. Soy. It was trending on Twitter. Soy.
Man, the imagery associated with the speech. And you know what? It fits well within the rhetoric of the speech too. Because what Joe Biden said last night is, as I say, the most dangerous thing I have seen an American president say about half the country ever.
That's the most dangerous thing he's ever heard an American president say, by the way. Is this what not having a legitimate argument looks like? Yes. This is exactly what not having a legitimate argument looks like. But also, he is now 6 minutes in, okay? We're beyond the halfway point in this video. Now he's finally going to fucking say something about the speech itself, right? About the components of the speech. Except there's not really anything you can pick apart in that speech as well. So he's just going to say like, oh, it's so dangerous, the most divisive. Republicans have claimed that the Democrats have always been divisive for a very long time. Even under the Trump administration, they did that. It's just cry bullying, okay? That's it. It's just cry bullying. He's going to say Biden is divisive because he said that all Republicans are bad. Meanwhile, he didn't even say that. He just said that Trumpism is a dangerous form. We want a good Republican Party. We want a strong Republican Party. We want a fucking Republican Party that cares about America, but just has a difference in opinion, which is stupid because that Republican Party has never existed. Conservatives do not care about, good shit. You have been you've been talking about conservatives being like this since 2019. Yeah. Let's hear what this is.
Did I trigger you, liberal? Did I trigger you? Did I trigger you? Am I triggering you right now? Why are you so triggered? Please tell me you're triggered. Please, please. I need human interaction. I haven't talked to another human being in 2 years. I was in a coma. I think this is what's relevant.
Dude, why was your Yeti like that? It was just not great. It was not great, okay? Also, not to mention, way more than 50% of America votes Democrat, but the system is just rigged to make it seem like we're split. Yeah, that's another thing. There is no more. There is. It's just old school. It's just old school conservative bullshit, okay? God, we are so lucky you aren't a hog. I warn all persons aiding and abetting or comforting the perpetrators of the aforesaid treasonable acts and require all officers and citizens to exert their utmost endeavors to prevent and suppress such dangerous proceedings. Washington, 1794. Wow, that's crazy. Did you already talk about the Tiffany Haddish story? No. But from what I understand, that's like one of those lawsuits that anyone can fucking put on anyone, and covering it like that is really inappropriate. It's not a criminal lawsuit. It's just like it's a, I mean, not a criminal lawsuit. Like I'm saying, it's a crime. Okay, it's a complete crime. Obviously, it's child sex abuse. But from what I understand, you can. The story is crazy if it's true. But from what I understand, it's like it's one of those things where it's a lawsuit filed pro se on Monday night in which Jane, an anonymous plaintiff on behalf of both herself and her brother, who's a minor, the siblings alleged that Haddish and her fellow comic Aries Spears recruited each of them to perform inappropriate acts on camera when they were children. Okay, so like they don't even have they don't even have a team. Like, it's just like crank shit. Do you know what I mean? Americans, or a lot of you forget that there are a lot of fucking cranks on the internet and in the real world. It's literally on video. Do they have the video? I mean, I don't know. It could be real. I'm just saying that, like, when you cover it like that, you cover it like, because I have no interest in this. I have no, I have no dog in this fight, okay? It was originally posted on Funny or Die. Wait, what? What the fuck is it? Yeah, the Daily Beast Washington verified it. Wait, what? Representatives of Spears. Okay, I'll look into this more. We'll look at it. We'll look at it in a second. I have no dog in this race. No dog in this fight. I thought it was like one of those like fucking crank lawsuits though that people usually unleash upon people. They don't even get like litigate. They don't even get like a fucking legal team. There's crazy people out there that just like fucking make up insane shit. But it could be real. I don't know. We'll look at it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my grandmother's a simple woman. Okay, stop. I have no dog in this fight. I have no horse in this race. But it's one of those things where it's like one of those things where it's like I thought maybe it's like a crank thing.
Ever in my life. And I'm sure there are times, maybe before that in American history.
We'll look at it in a second.
I was born in 1984, so I can only tell you what I have seen since 1984. The president of the United States going out there and saying that the half of the country that disagrees with, he has a 38% approval rating, half the country, more than half, that disagrees with him, that these are people who are associated with.
Bro, Trump had a fucking sub 30 when he literally gassed protesters to go hold up an upside down Bible outside of a fucking church. Like, what are you talking about? That was literally worse. Like, what the fuck do you mean? And also, Brandon is rising up. Let's be real. Brandon is rising up right now. Rise up, Brandon. He's hitting above 40 now. He's swinging, dude. Doing great.
Pure evil. He speaks about his fellow Americans the way that George W. Bush spoke about Al-Qaeda. So let's actually go through the speech now. We're going to go through it in real detail. I want him to speak in his own words. It's amazing. So this thing opens. Remember, it's a taxpayer-sponsored event, which means he's using all of the power of the office. This geriatric dotard. He's using all the power of the office, including taxpayer dollars, and all the imagery of traditional American republicanism, small r republicanism, in order to prop up a demagogic piece of fascistic speech making. So here he was at the very beginning, and Jill is walking him out to the podium because he now needs to be walked from place to place as our president. And here's what it sounded and looked like.
Wait, why are they? I mean, this doesn't look that. He's just walking normal. What the fuck?
So there he is. I mean, he can barely walk. She's leading him out there.
Wait, what?
If this doesn't feel like the death of the Republic to you, I don't know what would. He's in.
Wait, what? Bro, come on. What are you doing? Ben, what are you doing, bro? There's so much better shit. There's so much better shit that don't. Bro, this dude is dying, okay? He is literally like a walking corpse. Why did you use the one time you found him actually walking normally, dude? What the fuck? Yo, it's harder to find Joe Biden walking in a fucking normal fashion And for some reason, Ben figured out, Ben could find one time, the one fucking time, he's on camera walking weirdly all the time. This is the one instance where he's like walking normal and he's like, look at him.
Doesn't
he's dying.
feel like the death of the Republic to you. I don't know what would. He's in front of Independence Hall. He can barely raise his hand to wave. Okay, and then she ushers him to the podium, and he moves her off, and then he begins.
I feel like the Daily Wire will be filing bankruptcy in the next half decade. Oh, fuck, that'd be so sick. Fuck yeah.
To speak. So he starts off.
Except this motherfucker's worth like $100 million or some shit, for the record. I mean, the Daily Wire is like caked up.
By welcoming his fellow Americans. And by his fellow Americans, he means everyone who agrees with him. This was a pure campaign speech, but it is laced through with the kind of seething hatred for his fellow Americans that I have not seen. Truly, it's despicable. Here's the President of the United States, Captain Unity over here.
My fellow Americans, I speak to you tonight from sacred ground in America. Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is where America made its Declaration of Independence to the world more than 2 centuries ago with an idea unique among nations, that in America, we're all created equal.
Okay, so first of all, you can hear that he's clearing his throat. He's not particularly healthy. But as you can see, this was angry Biden. There are 2 versions of Biden that are now present. There are really 3 versions of Biden that are present in American public life. There is doddering fool Biden, can't get a sentence out, can barely speak, is wobbling around. His aides are worried he's going to trip over a wire, falling off bikes, and all the rest. And that's one version of Biden. Then you have fake empathy Biden, where he goes into his low voice. He really cares. That's the stuff where, in completely inappropriate context, he cites the tragic death of his son in order to try and garner empathy for himself while supposedly trying to sympathize with others, right? That's version number 2 of Biden. And then there's angry yelly Biden. What we got last night was angry yelly Biden. So he continues with what he says are the real message of America. What is the soul? He said he was going to speak about the soul of the nation in front of a blood red background in satanic lighting. Here he was talking about the soul of the nation. What is America really all about?
We the people. These 2 documents and the ideas they embody, equality and democracy, are the rock upon which this nation is built.
Okay, so the very basis of his speech, that equality and democracy are the key values of the United States. They are some of the key values of the United States, but he's actually using the wrong language. Because when he says equality, what he means is equity. Right? He has made this very, very clear throughout his presidency. Equity means equality of outcome. It does not mean that you have equal rights under the Constitution. That is not what he cares about. He cares about equality of outcome. And if you oppose that, you're against equality. And when he says democracy, as it turns out, he does not mean...
Dude, he's so triggered, dude. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is like semantics. It's language policing. He's picking apart like some of the most innocuous, insignificant parts of this to be like, dude, it's so crazy. That's so crazy. He said equity. He wants equality of outcome. This is communism. It's so, I don't know what to say about it other than like, I don't know what to say. I don't know why he's like losing his fucking shit over this. I mean, I guess he has to make content for this. Like, this is what he has to do. They were able to convince everyone that Donald Trump didn't mean what he said, so they're doing the same thing with Biden. You can't even do anything because Biden is so fucking boring. That's the problem. Like, Biden is not offering enough content to the Republicans to fucking lose their shit over. So they're losing their shit over some of the most like ridiculous, insignificant bullshit. Like, oh man, I can't believe he said equality. It's unacceptable. You know what? You know who else wanted equality? Communists. At the top of the hour, equally, communists want everyone to see the 6-second ad break. But of course, you can fight back against the top of the hour ad break. Hypothetically, let's say you have $5. It's September. You use that to subscribe to the Hasanabi broadcast. Hypothetically, that way, you will no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Also, hypothetically, let's say that if you didn't have $5, you could subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. It's only $4 now. Sorry. Okay. If you don't have $4, Twitch Prime is free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Or, hypothetically, you could get gifted a sub. That's right, if you're lucky. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Lexi T, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Lizard of Lord, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago made, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Luna Lux, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
Mean the kind of republicanism, small r republicanism, that is discussed in the Constitution of the United States. The truth is, if you look at the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States, the key messages truly are liberty and republicanism, not equality.
Jaded Jago, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. The 5G vaccine for QAnon teens, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Wait, what the fuck is this?
The kind of republicanism, small r republicanism,
What?
that is democracy, as it turns out, he does not mean the kind of republicanism, small r republicanism, that is discussed in the Constitution of the United States. The truth is, if you look at the Declaration of Independence and the
no, totally. That's a fun little substitution. Okay, that's like small d democratism, like the Democratic Party. I love that. Thank you, Ben. He's saying like the true nature of American democracy is not democracy, like the small d democracy is in the name, but republicanism. You know, like the one that the Republican Party upholds, which is also in the name. Yeah, no, actually.
the Constitution of the United States, the key messages truly are liberty and republicanism, not equality and democracy.
Yeah, no, not equality. America's never been about equality or democracy, actually. It's bullshit. Why would you say America's about democracy and equality? Dude, do you think someone cares about this? Are you out of your fucking mind? No, dude, come on. Come on. This is just team sports. The only people that will look at this fucking nerd, like, slobbering all over this shit, losing his fucking mind, are going to be actual annoying weirdos, just like just as annoying as Ben. This has real young Republican debate club energy, okay? Yeah, technically America is not a democracy. Its values have never been about equality and democracy. It's like, bro, those are positive values regardless of how you try to say America is not about that. Okay? Like, good luck cutting an argument saying that America is about, like, upholding Republican values of the Republic and not about fucking democracy and equality. What are you saying right now? Those are positive things, okay? We are taught from a very, very early age that, you know, democracy is a good thing and all the other methods of control are bad. All the other methods of governance are bad. It's also a good thing to have equality, okay? So what the fuck are you trying to do here? What are you trying to say here? It's actually unconstitutional. Null Void Face, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Family Jules 11, thank you for the 5 get the subs.
Equality and democracy are hallmarks of the French Revolution. Because in the French Revolution, the whole idea was that it was egalite, liberté, fraternité. It was pure democracy.
Damn, you're saying Biden's gay and French. Okay, that's unacceptable. Okay, he brought it back.
Democracy was mob rule. The founders very much feared the idea of mob rule.
Mob rule. Democracy is mob rule.
Culminating in a powerful centralized figure who was able to do whatever he wanted without any of the checks and boundaries of the Constitution of the United States. That's what they feared. And that's what Joe Biden represents. So understand, when he says equality and democracy, you're hearing equality of rights and democratic Republican rule under the checks and balances of the Constitution. That's not what he means. What he means by equality and democracy is something very different. He means equity and mob rule. Those are the things that he's actually standing for. But again, what he's doing is he's hijacking. This whole speech was about hijacking traditional American images and turning them on their head, right? Independence Hall is now blood red. Equality and democracy, if you are in favor of a limited government and equality of right.
I mean, he's just saying democracy is not good. Like, he openly said it. I don't need to, like, address it. I don't need to tell you that is a psychotic thing to say. Ben is doing it for me. So I don't even feel the need to address this at this point, right? Like, we all get what he's saying. He's saying democracy is not good. Democracy is mob rule. Okay, well, if you are considering majoritarian rule, the democratic rule, to be mob rule, then you're advocating for what? The tyranny of minority? A minoritarian government? Which, of course, yes, that is what Ben is advocating for. That is also low-key, what the Founding Fathers did want. They wanted only only white men who own land to be able to fucking vote. That's part of the reason why they made the Senate the way it is, right? That's why they had the Electoral College. That was straight up true. That is what they wanted. But theoretically speaking, the way that we promote American democracy is not by pointing out those things. As a matter of fact, when I point out those things, Ben will turn around and say, that's bad. You're doing CRT. You're doing critical race theory. Okay? So, you know, I don't know what else to say about this. Like, yeah, Ben and I are in agreement that the founding fathers were kind of dog shit. I mean, well, he doesn't think that. He thinks that they were good for wanting to undermine democratic rule. But, you know, he thinks it's good.
And you're interested in a checks and balances system that hems in the power of a centralized bureaucratic state. This means, according to Joe Biden, you are against the founding ideals of the country. The battle.
Damn, that's so terrifying.